two teams that need a win. Obviously, it's always been very difficult to play at Nebraska. They played good basketball versus Purdue, especially in the first half. So we know we're going to get their best shot, and we've got to learn from Michigan State and move on. I think we have, and we're excited for tomorrow.
You've been in a situation this year where you've had to play some desperate teams at times, and certainly you guys are sort of in that situation now, having lost 3 in a row. But is there a difference when you play a team that you can sense is really desperate for a win?
I think every game in the Big Ten is really, really competitive. You go through stages in a season where you're written off and you're pronounced dead. Wisconsin had it early, Purdue had it early, Ohio State had it, and all of a sudden now they've risen from the dead. We all kind of go through it. And the biggest thing is you can't let it snowball, and you got to find a way to stop it. But the schedule dictates a lot of it too. So for Nebraska, the reason why they've lost some games is very simple. They lost a starting player who's a really, really good player. And injuries are a factor, so you hate to see that for them. But they've still got some really, really good pieces. Watson's a terrific player. Palmer's as good as any player in the league, and so is Roby. And, they've got some role guys who are really doing some good things. So when you get an injury like that in the middle of the season, it rocks your world, much like we saw last year for us.
Before the Michigan State game, do you feel like your team was playing better defensively? And Michigan State does that to people, but communication-wise, different things in the Michigan State game.
Michigan State, there's 3 games that have concerned me, especially on the road. Michigan State, Illinois, and Ohio State. Excuse me. We did not respond to their physicality. And it could be chucking a cutter, and instead of cutting harder and being more physical, we didn't do that. Or if it's pushing you off the block, we didn't, fight for the post position, or every little thing that Michigan State does to you. We didn't respond well to that. So I think the guys saw it on the film and know that if you want to win in this league, you've got to embrace the physicality of this league.
Besides some first half foul trouble, what went into Amir being so quiet on Saturday?
I think give credit to Michigan State. We were easy to guard, because Gabe was really the only one hitting shots from the perimeter. And we've got to be able to stretch the court, and we've got to be able to spread them out. So I think it was more Michigan State than necessarily was Amir. McQuaid did a good job, and then they kind of loaded up to the ball.
You talked about Eric's absence being a factor. What's an update on him? And obviously when he's out, that means obviously other people have to...
Yeah, it's still day-to-day with him. Hopeful for tomorrow, but still not sure. But he's an important piece. It's like with Copeland. It's not as simple as people think when you lose a guy who's starting for you, who's going to be out. And so Motts and Mike and Jarvis and guys like that have got to step up. But it's when you lose a guy who helped you win 24 games 2 years ago, and it's a factor.
A player like Amir,